Okay, we're gonna start off where I usually do, and that's with primers. And I gotta be honest with you, I always use my Smashbox Photo Finish Control Mattifying Primer. I can never remember the name of that because it's not what it used to be. Anyhow, I always use that. That's why I have a backup. Should we do like a drawer, Shop My Stash drawer like I used to do? Put a couple things in, get use out of it? Let's do that instead. Because like everyday wear, I'm always defaulting to this just because I know it works. I want to be practical. If I'm wearing this stuff out and about and to work, I want it to last. This is a really good one, the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer, but it's almost gone. Like there is very little left in here. I'm going to pull that. I mean, why not try to finish it, I guess. Let's do at least one more. I can't tell you the last time I used this. This is supposed to be good for redness, I believe. This is the Becca, which tells you how old it is because Becca doesn't exist anymore. First Light Priming Filter. Oh my God, this is probably every bit of 4 years old. It's got a 12-month shelf life. I probably should declutter this. Let me smell it. We'll do the old sniff test. That smells totally fine. Okay, we're gonna pull that. I'm gonna grab one more then. I really did get rid of so many primers. I had like between 50 and 100 primers at one point, which is just stupid for me. I'm also going to pull, I love this. I love the The Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. It's so good. Especially if you want like a dewy, glowy type of look. It's good. So let's pull that. Okay, moving on down to concealers and odds and ends. Well, I mean, I haven't used most of these concealers in a while, just to be honest. I always use the NARS Radiant Creamy. It's just so good. Like, that's my default. And I always use the Dior Forever Skin Correct. It's so good. I just don't like a really heavy under-eye concealer. It just looks cakey. It makes the bags and creases underneath my eye accentuated. It's just not good. You know, I really wanted this to work. I bought this because of watching, Kate. And she raved about this, but she also does makeup a lot differently than I do. Hers is more like fresh and, I don't know, not as heavy as what I usually apply my stuff. And this is really thick. This reminds me of the Bye Bye Under Eye, to be honest. Like, really reminds me of that. I put Bye Bye Under Eye on the left and the Fit Glow on the right. I don't have a way to do this with one hand, so hold on. So they both have like this luminosity to them. I would say the Bye Bye Under Eye is definitely heavier. The Fit Glow feels a little oily. And then if you look at the swatches on my fingertips, you can see that. The Fit Glow is on the right, the Bye Bye Under Eye is on the left. But they both feel very similar in nature. Except again, the Bye Bye Under Eye is a lot thicker. So I don't know, like, let me pull it anyway. I've got to get some use out of some of these things or just declutter them once and for all. Get them out of here. Speaking of decluttering, hold on. There is absolutely one in here that's got to go. And I've been waiting to declutter it because I wanted to do it with you all, which is stupid. I should have just gotten rid of it. Where you at, Stinky? This concealer smells like rotten fish. Okay, this is the Hourglass. I'm not sure what the formal name is, but it smells disgusting. I let my boyfriend smell it. He nearly gagged. Like, it is not good. I haven't had it all that long. I don't feel like maybe a year, which I guess is long enough, but for it to smell like that, oh, hell to the no. That is going in the trash. Okay, back to picking concealers. And that one's a really good one, by the way. I like it. It can be a little heavy, but it's really good. That's another reason why I waited so long to part with it. I kind of applied it knowing it was stinky. Shouldn't have done that. It's absolutely expired. This is so thick. This Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer. It's just not my jam. Very thick. Why am I keeping it? Options, that's why. The Laura Mercier Real Flawless Concealer. I don't remember. I don't feel like I liked that very much. Why am I pulling a bunch of stuff I don't like? You know what? The chopping block. We're going to throw some shit away. That's why. I feel like this would be a good mixer with something heavy, so let's pull that. I'm going to pull one more. What else have I not used in a long time? Like most of these, honestly. This Fenty Beauty one is so drying. It really is. Let's pull that and mix that in with something. And then I'm going to get rid of what I don't like because I probably still have at least 20 some concealers in here, and I use probably 5 of them. So it's time. It's time to do some decluttering. Okay, this fun little section here, this is like holy grail status for me. I use it every single day. I don't even use regular foundations anymore, which is just nuts. We're going to for the Shop My Stash because I need to get use out of some other stuff. This is just crazy. That's all I use. I never thought I would say that all I use is a BB cream, especially considering how full coverage I usually wear my foundation. I used to mix 4 and 5 foundations together that were all full coverage. I also use the crap out of this. This is almost empty. This is also a very, very nice BB cream. But, oh, and this is good too. These are all like the same kind of product, just different tones. I was never really blown away by the Fenty Beauty, the Eavesdrop foundation. It's supposed to be blurring and lightweight, like a light coverage type of jam, skin tint. And I was never really that thrilled with this, but I do need to get some use out of it. So let's pull it. I'm going to pull it and use it, or I'm going to declutter it. Those are all just mixing pigments. I don't need to pull anything there. Oh man, I can't tell you the last time I used this stuff. It's just so thick. Thick, thick, thick. Maybe I should do the same thing. Use it or lose it. The Bobbi Brown. Is this a skin corrector? It is. I feel like all I've done is swirl my finger in there. I'm not sure I've ever even used that. Where did I get this from? You know what? Let's pull it. I love finding little goodies in my collection. I'm like, you know what? I don't remember buying that. This one from Sigma is really good. If you guys have seen that video yet. Ooh, don't mind the cat hair. It's just everywhere. You can't get rid of it. This is also a product I haven't used, but maybe 3 times since I've owned it. And I've heard people rave about how good it is as a base. So maybe I'll yank that too. Just toss it in there. Is that it? Is that all I want to? Ooh, I forgot. I grabbed the Easy Blur. This is actually really nice. I haven't gotten enough use out of it though, but this shade is way too freaking light. Yes, I have a very fair skin tone, but why do I think I'm Casper the Ghost? I have to mix it in with these mixing drops from number 7. These are amazing, by the way. If you end up with a foundation that's way too light, I don't know if they still make these, but they're custom blend foundation drops and they just change the tone. They're darker. So I mix that together and it kind of works. So I'm going to pull that too. This is exciting. Like I'm in my little filming room. Should I show you guys? Let's do that. I know, I'm a dork. I can't help it. But it needs some organization. It needs some cleaning up. We just did this yesterday. But there's that. And then we got my little table, my lights, my camera. Like that's it. That is it. And I'm stoked. Okay, back to the video. I think that's all I'm going to pull. Why am I holding on to this? Because the last time I used it, it looked beautiful. You know how old this is? This Hourglass foundation? Just know it's older than dirt, okay? I've had this for a very long time, but it looks really beautiful on the skin, and I know I shouldn't. It's a freaking stick foundation. This should not exist. But it smells fine, and it wears fine. Yeah, I know I've got problems. And then I've got the one from Merit, which is really nice too, by the way. I think I like the Hourglass one better, but this one is nice. Should I pull one or do I have enough foundations? You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to wear this at least another time or two. And then I really do need to throw that away. Let's get out of this drawer because I just pulled half the drawer. Okay, powders. So if you've been here for a while, you know my all-time favorite is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Setting Powder. That's why I've got 2, okay? I have a backup. This has to be on hand at all times. It makes my makeup last all day long, no matter what type of base I have. And that's important because I've got really oily skin. I do have like my favorites in here I'll rotate through, but by and large, I use this almost every single day, which means the other ones are just chilling in here, collecting a lot of dust. So I like the Fenty Beauty powder, but it makes my eyes water sometimes. It's very heavily scented, which so is the Huda Beauty powder. Is there anything in here I haven't used in a long time? I'm not much on like powder foundations. This says it's a finishing powder. I wouldn't say that. This is from Chantecaille, and it's just very yellow. Do you see the tone? So I don't use it a whole hell of a lot. It's not something that, like, when I saw other people using it and raving about it, I thought this was going to be like the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush powder. I was so excited, but it's just not. It's different. The formula is different. but it's very smooth and smoothing. You know what? Screw it. Let's pull it and try to get some use out of it. I remember when I first got that, I was so pissed because there's a crack in it. And I thought, you kidding me? This powder's like $88. And for it to arrive with a crack in it, you see it? I was pissed. I was not happy about it. But I didn't return it. You know what I mean? It's probably going to get cracked in my friggin' drawer anyway. This is the Charlotte Tilbury powder I was talking about. I'm sure most of you have seen this if you've been in the makeup space for a while. It's a really fantastic powder, which is why I have Pan. I don't really want to use that in its entirety quite yet. I'm kind of weird about that. Let's grab one that's not compact, though. Let's grab a loose powder. This is a really nice powder. I use this as more like a blending powder. The Butter Believe It. You can tell I love it because I bought a backup already. I mean, this has some serious pan in it. I've been doing good, y'all. Like I said in my other video, if you all knew me 3-4 years ago, you would be so proud of me right now because I am not buying makeup like I used to. Beauty products in general, I am doing a very good job. I'm so proud of myself. Is this Laura Mercier? Yeah. Oh, well, okay. That happened. Well, since it fell on the floor, let's grab you, Laura Mercier. I know this one's good. To be honest, this is probably one that I would buy a full size of. This is something I got as a sample size. It's actually, I don't have that much left. So let's go ahead and pull it. I'm going to pull this one too. Because, I mean, I don't ever use that one. It's super light. Let's get out of that drawer. Now, this drawer is just, if you've got anxiety, okay, this drawer will trigger that. Triggers it for me. Looking in here is stressful, to say the least. I'm not sure what's going on. There's a lot. I really need to declutter this drawer, but I love me a good bronzer. I've got probably 15 cream bronzers, at least. I found out yesterday when filming. They're just everywhere. Do I use most of them? No, I don't. I just like to look at them, you know, like having the collection. But I think I need to pull some for today's video. I can't tell you the last time I used this Rare Beauty stick bronzer, so let's pull it. I'm very picky about the tone of bronzer that I use. It's got to be the right tone. The NARS bronzer. This is nice. I'm going to pull that one. Let's pull one more cream. This one is beautiful. It's very sticky, like tacky, but it is pretty. If you look at the Tower 28 as a swatch, it is scary, okay? I would never think to put that on my face. It just looks thick and very pigmented. It almost looks like an eyeshadow. But when you blend it out, it is so beautiful. It's just bronzy and shimmery. It's really nice if you tap it over top of a contour shade, just because it is really bronzy and shimmery. Do I need to try this again? I guess I do, but I'm going to pull one more since I pulled that one. I'm going to pull one more cream bronzer because that one you have to use in a very specific way, in my opinion, for me. Like, there's so much in here, I just can't even get to all of it. What is happening back here? These Merit stick bronzers I got. So at one point in time, Merit used to send me product in PR. Now that they've gotten a little bit bigger and I didn't film very often, they kind of stopped doing that. But the last time they sent me product, they asked me what I wanted, and I picked 2 different shades of cream bronzer because I wasn't sure which shade I would like. And these are the ones I grabbed. I have Sienna, not sure, and then Clay. My only critique about these is it's a balm. It even says it's a bronzing balm. So they're very balmy. I mean, you can see how glowy it is. And I feel like this is something better suited for somebody that doesn't wear a setting powder, that wants that fresh, dewy, youthful type of makeup look, which I'm not good at because I'm oily and that shit will break down on me super fast. The top one is Sienna, or however you say that, and the bottom one is Clay. I would lean more towards Clay because it's more neutral leaning. The other one's got a lot of orange in it. I already have the Rare Beauty foundation stick. This is a totally different type of formula, though. I'm going to pull that. Like, I just need to make a decision here. Now I need to grab a few powders. I do this every time. I grab so much to use because I can't make decisions. And then when I'm using it in my daily rotation, I don't use half of it. So, welcome to the shit show. I don't use this one hardly at all. This is the Laguna bronzer from NARS. I've got their cream bronzer in this shade. And then I also have the powder. I do like this because it's more neutral than orange. I'm going to pull it. There's a sheen to it. I've got all my bronzing palettes over here too. Like, this is just too much for one drawer. I really need to go through and reorganize and condense some stuff. So I was digging around in the back there. I forgot that I have this one from L'Oreal, the Infallible. It's in the shade 300 light medium. It is the one on top of these powder swatches, not the bottom one. I feel like this is very pumpkin pie. In the swatch, it doesn't look too terrible, but I feel like I really didn't like that. I need to use it again, and if I hate it, I'm going to throw it away or just give it to somebody. I don't need to throw it away, but it's got to get out of my collection if I don't like it. You know, something I haven't used in a really long time, probably because it's buried underneath all these other bronzers, is the Scott Barnes contour palette. There's one specific shade in here that I liked for a contour slash bronzer. Because be honest with you, I don't always wear a contour and a bronzer. I typically only wear one that serves the purpose of both things. I don't need to be so extra all the time, especially when I'm going to work. Everyone gives a shit if I've got a contour on. You could tell, though, that the shade, Carve, that was that bitch. So I like that one. And then I like mixing, what was it? Shade and Dice together. Anyhow, I'm going to pull that. That gives me 3 powdered bronzers to focus on. The declutter's got to happen here soon because I'm running out of room. I mean, good thing I'm not buying makeup like that, but this is just a little ridiculous. I'm very self-aware that I have a problem. Okay? So don't come for me. Or you can. I don't care. Whatever. I would like to grab one more powder bronzer just because I have so many. What have I not used in a really long time? I want one that I know the tone is right, though. I don't want to have to fight with it. So this Bare Minerals bronzer was buried all the way at the back. It's in the shade, well, it's their Invisible Bronze in the shade Fair to Light. And that's a swatch of it there. It's very yellow leaning, in my opinion. But I'm going to pull that one because, again, I didn't even realize that I still had that because it's been hiding in the abyss. Okay. Now, blush is one of those categories. That's broken. That's why it's bagged up like that. Blush is one of those categories where I have a problem, okay? There's all that. And then I have those. I like pink powder, okay? I like pink, red, peachy powders. I have problems. So I use a lot of these, though. Like, on the daily, I'm rotating through these a lot. I would say I've really neglected my cream blushes here lately, just for sake of, time and ease of use. I just default to the powder blush because I'm always running behind, and it's easier just to throw on a powder. So I really should pull some cream blushes to get some use out of them. So I'm going to pull a handful of those and a couple of powder blushes and call it a day. I can't tell you, ooh, that would come in handy too. I can't tell you the last time I used this Makeup Forever blush / foundation palette. I got this for a decent deal. I think I ended up getting it like 30% off, something to that nature. And it has some really beautiful blush shades. Most of them are very warm toned, which I like. And then I've got these foundation shades that I can mix together to come up with a concealer / foundation. So I really do like this. I'm going to pull it. I'm going to force myself to get some use out of that. I have all these cream blushes from Melt that I haven't used in a while. They're beautiful. I got those for a stupid good deal. I believe they were more than half off. I got them sometime last year before. And I've gotten some good use out of those. Not lately, though. The Tower 28 cream blush is pretty. Beach Please. Let's pull that, because I can't tell you the last time I used that. I'm not a huge fan of that sticky formula. It scares me a little bit. Let's see. What have I not used in a really long time, if ever? These e.l.f. liquid blushes are beautiful. That's why I bought 4 of them. And I've barely gotten any use out of them because, again, I haven't been using cream blushes or liquid blushes like that. But, they're pretty. Have I even used this orange one? I don't think I did. I'm going to pull that and see if I can force myself to use it. Ooh. I'm going to pull this one, too. Which one's this? Help me, phone. Suave Mauve. Yeah. 2 opposite ends of the spectrum, right? We got really warm tone, really cool tone, but I'm pulling those 2. So far, I just pulled that and then 3 cream blushes. So maybe I need to move along to powders then. I don't want to pull... That one's pretty too, from Juvia's Place. I think I've only used that once, maybe twice. But she's pretty. I went through a phase where I just kept buying cream blushes, and I've got a bunch now. What powder blushes do I want to pull? What haven't I worn in a long time? I can tell you right now, I haven't worn this because it scares the shit out of me. This is the Too Faced Cloud Crush blush in Watermelon Rain. I mean, look at it. It is this bright, hot pink. I don't know about hot pink. It looks more hot pink on my camera right now. In person, there's a little bit more depth to it. Well, we gonna pull it though. And I feel like if I'm just really light-handed with it, it would be nice. So that's the plan there. Don't know the last time I used Balm Desert. This one I like though because it can double as a bronzer and it's got like that pink tone to it, which is what I like in a bronzer. It doesn't look that pink here on camera. It looks more brown. I'm gonna pull this. I haven't used it in quite a while and it is nice. Look, my little basket is overflowing already. These M Cosmetic blushes. Let's pull that because I don't know the last time I used that either. 3 powder blushes so far. Let's pull one more. These are all the MAC Glow Play blushes, so they're like a cream formula. I used to love these. I don't know what the formula is like now after not having used them for a while. So I started looking at this one, and there was like hair stuck to it. Just because they're cream products, they collect hair and dust, so you gotta be really careful with them. Like, I really loved these, and I haven't used them in forever. Maybe I'll pull one. I know it's like a cream product, but these were my favorite for a long time, which is why I bought so many of them. Like, if I'm buying 5, 6 of something, especially something like MAC where they're not cheap, although I usually got them when they were 30% off, still, then that means I freaking love it, especially given how many blushes I have. I went ahead and pulled 2. Blush Please and So Natural. So Natural is the one on top. Blush Please is the one in the middle there. So, I think that's all I'm going to pull with blushes because that was a lot. Okay, I knew I was going to do that. So what do we still have then? This is my odds and ends drawer. This is where I'm going to end up keeping the makeup from here to keep in my daily rotation. I just haven't fully set everything up yet, so this is kind of a hodgepodge. And I really do want to go back through and reorganize everything because this is driving me nuts. I'm missing highlighters, so let's do that first. Yeah, this is another one. It's another drawer that's mildly out of control. Not really mildly. It is out of control. And I really don't use highlighters like I used to. It's kind of sad, I'm not going to lie. I haven't used this one in a long time. The Iced Out highlighter from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's really pretty though. Let's do that. What else? I bought this big one from Bobbi Brown. And she's pretty. Let's pull that. You can tell I'm kind of just want to get this over with now. We got a variety, folks. Drugstore, luxury. It's just all mixed in together, living harmoniously. Oh, you know what? Oh, here we go. So I'm not really sure what sold me on these. I picked someone that doesn't like a whole lot of glowy shit. I picked up the Forever Glow Star Filter from Dior probably like 6 months ago. I don't think I've used it. And then I had also grabbed the Forever Glow Maximizer. This is supposed to be like a highlighter. This one's in the shade Pink. And I don't think I've used that yet. So I'm definitely going to pull those two. Because they are expensive. And I feel like I need to make the effort to get some use out of those. God, this Rare Beauty one is ridiculously blinding. And I don't wear the really blinding highlights anymore. It is just like next level though. It really is. Maybe I can pull it and use it as like an inner corner highlight or something though. I would like to get some use out of it. I'm going to pull the Ofra highlighter. This is in Rodeo Drive. It's just so pretty. I just smeared it all over my hand. I haven't used that and I can't tell you how long. It's probably been at least a year or two. So let's pull that one. I don't know why I'm pulling like a million highlighters now, but I've pulled 4 so far. But look, Champagne Pop. This one arrived broken and I was so proud of myself because I, put alcohol in it and mushed it back down and now it looks like it was never broken. But this is such a beautiful highlighter. It's right there on the bottom part of my thumb. I'm going to pull that. And then when I was looking at that, I started looking at this one from IBY. This is one of my all-time favorite highlighters and it's broken. And I need to fix it like I did the other one. This one, she's pretty. It's a very beautiful, sparkly, light pink. Talk about gorgeous. So I'm going to pull that one. Is it Private Jet? It is. How did I know that? I would love to buy a full size of that if they sold it. And that's going to be it for the highlighters because that's, whoa, you know? Palettes. Do I want to, you know what? I forgot I had this. Totally forgot about it. The Hyper Natural Face Palette. I am a stan for Natasha Denona. I can't help it. I love her stuff. I love her little midi palettes. I just love her stuff, man. It's so good. And I bought this and I think I've used it like twice, which is a shame. So I'm going to pull that because that absolutely needs to get some use. This is just a mixture of bronzer palettes, blush palettes, and highlighter palettes. So I usually try to grab at least a couple during these rotations because otherwise they don't get used. They just chill in here. You know what? Let's just keep it to the one palette, to the Natasha Denona Hyper Natural. Yeah, let's just keep it to that one. I'm making you guys dizzy with all the woo. By the way, I think I told you this before, but I bought a gimbal and then never fully realized how to use it because it's confusing. So, my bad. Okay, this is the sample drawer / backup drawer / I didn't know where else to put this shit drawer. That's what this drawer is. There is a lot going on in here. Like a lot. Some of this stuff I shouldn't even have. Like, am I ever going to use this shade powder on myself? I don't know why I would. So why I have it, I'm not sure. I feel like this got sent to me. It had to have, because why would I buy that? I wouldn't. Right? I mean, I might. I've got some issues. I can't do it. It's just, there's just way too much going on in there. I just cannot handle it. I'm not going to pull a mascara. You would be surprised. I don't know if you guys have been here for a while, okay? You might remember when I went through this rack and went through all my foundations. Let me show you what's left. Look at the emptiness. That is how much I've decluttered, okay? What you see up top is all the foundations I have. That's it. Which might be a lot to somebody, but for me, this is nothing compared to what I had. I am super proud of myself. So again, I have not been using typical foundations. I've been using BB creams, specifically the Misha BB cream. So I would love to get some more use out of some of these. And I am going to pull some. So let's do that now. I am almost out of this one. This is a fantastic foundation. I really like the tone of it. It's very neutral. Which one is this? Is the House Labs. What was this one called? The Triclone. Mine is in 50 Fair Cool. I really like this. There might be enough for like one more application, but it's nearly empty. I don't know why I bothered to save that. This is an oldie but a goldie. This is a good one. And this one is nearly empty. The light reflecting. I haven't used it in a really long time, so let's pull it. This is almost gone. If you like full coverage, this one's gotcha. It is, I don't know why it's called Soft Glow. There's nothing glowy about this, in my opinion. It's very full coverage. Maybe I should just use this 1 or 2 more times and be done with it. That's another good one. It's also almost empty. I don't feel like I liked this a whole lot. I might have to try applying it very sparsely, but it's Dior, and I paid a lot of money for it, and I really need to try to get some use out of it. Oh, geez, Louise, this Prada foundation. I am not a fan, okay? I think I've used it twice, and it is just, I should have returned it, because this foundation, I think, is like 90 bucks. Stupid me. I should have returned it. You know what? I'm going to leave that out, and I'm going to force myself to get more use out of it, and then if I still hate it, it's going. It's going to bite the dust. I'm going to grab one more, and then I've got a shit ton that I need to get through. So I'm going to grab this Laura Mercier foundation. I've only used it a few times, but it's really pretty. It just doesn't last long on my skin because my skin's so oily, and this has like oils in it. So that is the base products. I'm going to pull a couple eyeshadow palettes just for the simple fact that I have palettes that I bought recently that I haven't had the opportunity to use, and I would love to use them for the first time with you guys. Or just use them with you all in general. I might have used one of them. So let's grab those now. My birthday was the other day, so I grabbed some Natasha Denona palettes. I grabbed the I Need a Warm. I grabbed the Golden, sorry. And I grabbed the Roxa. So I'm going to pull those 3. I told you I'm a stan for Natasha Denona. I've got all of her midi palettes now, I'm pretty sure. And I've got some of her bigger ones. I just can't help it. Okay, so this is all of the products laid out in my everyday makeup drawer. The left side is just all those blushes I showed you earlier, but over here, these are all the products that I picked to use over the next month or so. It's just a lot. I get carried away when I do my Shop My Stash because I'm excited to use things I haven't used in a while. And I end up with this monstrosity of a Shop My Stash. And then, of course, I picked these Natasha Denona palettes that I haven't gotten any use out of, or I've only used once. So that wraps up this video, shopping my stash, picking products for my everyday drawer. Let me know if you liked it by thumbsing up this video. Subscribe if you haven't done that yet. I would love for you to stick around and join the family. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.